Today on the workbench, I've got a new project here. This is a brand new, out-of-the-box Rapido GE44 tonner. That's their current run. And I just got this a couple of weeks ago. I just haven't done anything with it yet. But what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to upgrade the speaker in it. I've got a scale sound system speaker. And you can see the number on it right there. And then I'm also going to take the ESU decoder out of it. And I am going to put in this Soundtraxx Tsunami. So let's dive into this thing. Now, the way we get this apart is there are 4 screws underneath, just right behind the front and rear trucks. So let me start pulling those out. Kind of easier for me to do at an angle here. There's 4 of them. I did put this up on the track and I tested it. There's a little piece of copper. That must have been on my bench. Anyway, so that's that. Now it tells you in the instruction manual how to take this apart. So you pull those 4 screws out, and then you have to pull out, make sure that these hand railings are out of the holes. So there's 10 positions, it says. So that's all of that, and then we've got some up here on the front we've got to pull out. Let me get a pair of so all of that's loose. And then the ones on the rear are loose. It says there are some body clips up in the front, but you shouldn't have to do anything with those. And if you do, you have to okay, so there it started. So there, it came out nice and easy. Now I want to remember that I'm going to put this locomotive back together the way I found it. So the word Southern is on that side. It really doesn't matter, it's all the same. But it looks like some of the Kapton tape is coming off. Now this does have a keep alive in it. I'm hoping it'll work with the Soundtraxx decoder. I don't know that, but we're going to try and find out. So let's get this scale sound system speaker out, and this thing sets right in here like that. But first we'll take out, this is the speaker that's in there now. This wee little speaker. So let me go ahead and pull that screw out. I did run this thing. Was not happy with the sound. I don't want to pull too hard on that. So I can see So it's starting to move. It's just in there tight. I'm pulling on this little tab right here. There. So this is the This is the original speaker. Turn my soldering iron on. So we've got that now, and I'll just take and I'll hit that with the soldering iron, and once it heats up. But while that's doing that, I'm going to open up the decoder. And to replace this decoder, we're just going to, let's see, this is one of the next 18 decoders. So all we need to do is I just pull straight up on it, and that takes that out. And now you can see the connector right there on the focus. On the new one, okay, so we're in. Rid of that. Now my soldering iron is heated up. We'll get our speaker out of the way. I just want to kind of dry fit this thing in here. I may have to well, there's a piece of Kapton tape right here. I can pull that off, and that'll let me release my wires there and pull up. Now with that, I'll end up having to pull the cab interior out, which that's no big deal. If I could get my fingers down in there to do it. But anyway, we'll worry about that in a minute. There is a little bit of flash on this right here. On this edge, I'm going to take and knock that off with a file, and I'll knock it off around the sides too. So let's see, I've got the speaker out. I'm going to go ahead, I did knock the flash off of that, so it'll set a little better. Now I'm going to take and get out my alcohol, and I'm going to clean the bottom of that off so I can put my double-sided tape, and I'll clean this off. Of course, you can see the decoder there. Put that back together. Since I've got that cleaned off, I'll go ahead and put my double-sided tape onto the bottom of the speaker, and then I'll I'll solder the wires onto the speaker. I need something to kind of set that up to where the maybe I can do it like that. I'll just hold it. I've already went ahead and tinned the speaker, so you can see that's going to sit right here. Oh, before I forget about it, the screw that came out of the original speaker, I'm going to put back in. We'll get in there. Just in case I ever want to put the original one back in. So let's go ahead. This may look a little awkward, and it kind of is. But there's one. Here's the second one. Okay. Now, I just need to get the double-sided tape off. Okay. So there's the speaker installed. Just pushing that wire down in below that. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and let me just back out a little bit here. So that's what that looks like installed. All right, I'm going to put this up on the track, and I'm going to try it out. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so much improved sound. I am going to have to do a little programming change. The front headlight will not work right now the way it sits unless you hit F26. Have the headlight on and then hit function F26, and then the lights will work. So I never tried to keep alive, but I'm going to go ahead and put this back together, and then so it should just, oh, I got to pull the cab out of this thing. So Rapido comes with great instructions. It does say in the instructions that there are 2 clips holding the window section in, or holding the cab section in. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pull that off. And then I think you can actually see the clips right here on the side. Those 2 little clips. So I may have to do this off camera. And actually, I told you wrong. Those are not the clips on the side there. Let me see something. Well, it feels like I have it, but there we go. So the clip is up inside there. But anyway, I got it. So we've got our interior pulled out, which that doesn't really concern me. But yeah. Oop. So now we can put this back together. Put my knife away. That slides right in. Make sure your handrails are out of the way. Thank God those are fairly sturdy, or else I would have broken all of them. So I'm just trying to get this front clip on this one. There's that one. Okay. There we go. We're all back together. Of course, these hatches open up front here. They're on the hoods. So now all I got to do is put the screws back in it. And we can go ahead and do that. And I love Rapido's instructions because they kind of make fun of you in the instruction book. If you want to remove that, if you want to remove the cab interior, go ahead, but be careful because the glass will scratch if you just jam something into it. And yeah, they do have a good sense of humor. So I really like that because this is a hobby. You're supposed to have fun with it, and they know how to have fun with what they're doing. Don't take this stuff too serious. Anyway, there we've got it all back together. I'll zoom out a little more. We've got it all back together. I'm going to put it up on the test track, and yeah, we'll be done with it. So I'll be back. All right, we've got this locomotive completed and up on the turntable here. And of course, it's got the new Soundtraxx Tsunami decoder in it and one scale sound system speaker. So relatively quick install. The big thing that I had to worry about was getting the keep alive that was built into this able to turn on and to get the lights turned on. So we'll run through that. Let me run through the startup sequence here. Now I do have the volume turned down. And I haven't set the bell. I did change the horn. It comes standard with a Nathan horn, I think. This is a Leslie. But, of course, you can set those to your preference. That doesn't matter. Let's see. The only lighting functions that we have are the front and rear lights. And to get the lights to work with the 0 command, we have to take CV389, CV1.389, and change it to 15. And so we had to do something similar with the Keep Alive. I changed CV3 or 1.390 to 15 also. That way it will turn that Keep Alive on. So it does work rather well. I'm going to set this to 128 speed steps, and this is speed step 1 of 128, so it does have good slow speed. And yeah, that's basically it. So let me, we'll ramp it up a little bit. Real slight change there in the volume. Now I will say, just looking at the amp meter on this NCE power cab, this thing's only drawing 0.01 amps. So even when I put it into the first speed step, that jumps it up to 0.03, which is nothing. But anyway, we've got that completed, and yeah, it does sound really good, and I do think it's a big improvement over the stock speaker. So, all right, thanks for watching.